Hello, Jim.
Hey Fredrik, how are you?
Oh, it's good. It's been 1 year since we had this session last time.
It's true.
Yeah.
And
So
last time I sent from home, and now I'm back in the office.
yeah, I see, and we can also hear your colleagues talking and phones ringing and all that stuff. So that's
It's
nice. Yeah. So maybe
things.
you can tell us a little bit who you are and why we are having this session so early in.
Oh, so I am Jim. I work at Electrokit, and for the third year in a row, we are supplying the hardware to the students for this course.
Yeah.
And so what we do is we package the hardware in a few ways and make sure that you have them on time and that they work, and we take care of all the logistics in that
Yeah.
regard.
And that's good because actually a backstory is that when we did this course the first year, well, you, as you said, you've been around for 3 years now. This is the third year, but we initially started in that, oh, maybe we should start buying the hardware at the university, ship it out, and that, well, we realized right away that it is sort of, it's almost, I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's not anything that the university actually can do. We are not allowed to sell hardware and also have people that are like distributing stuff that normally doesn't distribute stuff. It's far from optimal. So that's why we are also including Electrokit. Not, I mean, you're sort of the main supplier, but we can say that you're free to buy hardware from anywhere you want. Even of course, Jim, you want them to buy from you, obviously. But we try to make one supplier that is involved in the course, and also to create a package that is very much straightforward, directly made for the course. So that's really beneficial for us. And also, if you're going to buy all this stuff on like separate places, it might actually be more expensive as well. So, and also you can sort of handle all the logistics for a lot of people with the same specifications, and that makes it also easier.
Yeah,
So it's a win-win for everyone, as I see it. So
I'd say so. Yes.
yeah,
We also have the if something goes wrong, well, not goes wrong, but say for example that a component is defective or hard to get, then we can have a communication with Frederick and make sure that you get the correct replacement, and we can spread the word about it quickly.
yeah. So, and that has been proven to be quite successful. And also, we might mention that you are also part of the Discord server. So
Yes.
there is a channel in the Discord that you can use to chat with Electrokit, and it will be Jim, you, that answers. Yeah. So that actually, it's also a good thing that a lot of people start, is like, okay, when is my order arriving and how's the status? And
Yeah.
that information you will get like firsthand, directly, without even emailing the support from the Discord server. And that's also really nice. So should we skip to the hardware part? I mean,
The hardware
people
part,
are,
yes.
yeah, people are waiting, and what's going to be shown here? So this year will be a little bit different from the previous years in terms of options. There are, I would say, it's the best year so far in terms of that we now have both a lower scale and a higher scale. And I think the differences are greater, but we are, well, I think we have a better range of options this year. So I could show the, let's see. Okay, we see now the Electrokit homepage. I'll hide this banner. And as we see here now, there are a couple of new links here. It says LNU 1DT 305 tillämpad IoT at 4 different places here. And this will probably just be the new additions on the front page for a quite limited time, I guess. When you add new products, that will disappear. But those links will be distributed in the Discord channel. I'll update the bill of materials in the course webpage. You will get all those links. But, well, also you can just go to Electrokit and search for the tillämpa DUT, applied, and you will find it.
Or LNU, actually.
LNU, yeah.
You'll get the top 5. There are 5 packages, but 4 of them are new.
Let's do it right away. Yeah, if I just Google search for LNU here, we will find them. Okay, so should we take one bundle at a time? So if we start with the most expensive one, and we'll click on that one. So, and not a very fancy picture, but I can show you. But could we say something about this bundle? And that is that this is the WiFi, and I can quickly show. I need to do like this and go to the PyCom website. So this is the development board called WiFi, and it's a 5 network development board. We have been using the PyCom, which is a company, as you see, we have been using the PyCom hardware for these last 3 years. This has proven to be very successful. They have good software support. They have really good documentation. It's actually a really nice way to start your IoT journey, because you will be able to do almost everything within the field of IoT. And why we have chosen the WiFi as the all-inclusive main bundle, it is a little bit more expensive. I'll go to that. I'll explain about the differences later on. But with this one, you have all the options. We have Wi-Fi, which more or less everyone probably knows about, and you might be sitting and using Wi-Fi while watching this. It also includes LTE, Cat M1, and narrowband IoT. And those are it's not 4G, 5G, or 3G. It's actually the IoT bands of cellular connectivity. But that means that this board you can put a SIM card in one of these boards. Not any SIM card, it needs to be an IoT SIM card. But the thing is that it's actually included. So it's included a SIM card in this bundle. So you will get a connectivity that works all around the world. So it will work in I think in almost all Western countries, and in North America, Europe, and Asia, for included 36 months. So that is, yeah. And then it also has LoRa, which is something that I hope that many will be exploring during this course. And it also has Sigfox, and it also has Bluetooth. So there is more or less limitless opportunities in terms of connectivity. And you program this with MicroPython. So this is what we have as the main recommendation for the course. They are a little bit more expensive. I'm well aware of that. But in terms of being able to explore all different options, there is actually not a cheaper alternative. If you want to try out all these different things or have the ability, you wouldn't be able to get it cheaper in another way. Perhaps if you solder and do a lot of stuff yourself, but not any ready-to-use board. And it will end up like this. It's included with an expansion board in the package. And the microcontroller, you will also get antennas, and you will also get the SIM card. So this is the WiFi. And if we look at the sensor bundler, yeah.
Did you say the carrier board as well?
Yeah, I said expansion board, but you mean exactly. So you have the WiFi and with headers, expansion board, antenna, Worth noting is that it's included a micro USB cable.
Yeah.
One of the things that it's a micro USB cable, and the thing is that you might have many home lying around. But the thing is that this is the most common problem when people are starting out with microcontrollers, is that they take a micro USB cable, and it might be a charging only cable, and then the data doesn't work. And so this is included in the kit. I think that's quite nice, actually. And then there are some jumper wires, breadboards, and this is, I would say, like a start package. So just to be able to start interacting with a couple of different sensors. So you get sort of a very basic package of sensors, a couple of LEDs, resistors, tilt switch, temperature sensor, Hall effect sensor, that is for measuring magnetic influence, and then a magnet, of course. So with these basic sensors, you won't be able to do whatever you want, but you can like start on doing something right away. Should we say something about like this kit is made to order? What do you mean with that?
It used to say that it's out of stock, but now we put it as made to order, and that means that we actually make it to order. So we, for logistic reasons, we need to have a certain number of kits ordered, and then we will send the order to PyCom in this case, and then we will assemble the kits and send them out to you. And so that means it's first come, first serve. We will communicate if there is any issues, but please place your orders as soon as possible, and preferably not later than next Friday, to make sure that everything can be sent for, assembled, checked, and sent out. And we can take care of any problems should they arrive. Sometimes packages go astray, and we will make sure, if you order by that date, we will make sure you have it by the course start.
That's great. And we can check the other bundles, because there is one costing 1,349 crowns, and then it's not including the sensors, sort of. So
exactly,
yeah.
So that's the board and the expansion board, antenna, and the USB cable.
Yeah. So many of you might already have a breadboard, some cables, or you might have an Arduino, and then obviously you shouldn't buy that stuff once more. So then you'll buy the basic bundle. If you have any questions about like, oh, what should I buy, even still after watching this video, well, then there is a Discord server, and like ask again, we'll help you. That was the PyCom, like that was the all-inclusive package, if you want to have all the options. And then we have this lower priced option as well, which is not PyCom, I might say. This is still an ESP32, and I can show how we can hear your colleagues speaking. Just to show you but this is from a real office, so that's how it is, working in an open office.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is a Chinese board. Well, obviously everything is probably produced in China anyways, but this is PyCom is a British company, but HealthTech is a Chinese company. And this board, it looks like this. It's called Wi-Fi Laura 32. You can find all information also. Just Google HealthTech and you can see the page I'm at. These are available also from like Amazon, etc., etc. That accounts for a lot of the different things. But the thing is with these boards is that it's the same CPU, it's the same architecture. It's an ESP32. which is the same as the PyCom. But I'm saying that it's way cheaper. You don't need an expansion board. You are able to plug in your USB cable directly into the board. It's not only an advantage because the expansion board itself is actually quite nice to tinker with, but it takes a little bit more space. It includes LoRa, so you have Wi-Fi, you have Bluetooth, and you have LoRaWAN. But then you don't have like a cellular connection on these ones. And you, unfortunately, you can't use the PyCom software. Like there are certain plugins that doesn't work out of the box with this one. We will still be able to flash this with MicroPython. So it's not a problem. We will, as we recommend this in the course, we will obviously have a lot of support for this board. But you will be, in some sense, many things are much more, I would say, easier on the PyCom device because it's been around for some time and there is really good support for different plugins and such. But it's way cheaper and you can still run LoRa. And you actually, one addition which is really nice on this one is that it's a small OLED screen. Now this is off, but you can see on the picture here that it actually can display some information and you get a small little case. So this board is actually a quite nice board. So if you feel like buying two boards, I would actually recommend buying a PyPy and one of the HealthTech devices because they are quite nice to tinker with. So this is sort of the budget option, so to say. So it will include the same instead of the PyPy. You will get this same like basic sensor package as in the PyPy. And obviously, if you want to buy only the HealthTech device, then you have that option as well. And then we have the sensors only bundle. So if you want to buy that additional, like just a small sensor bundle, you can do that as well. So sort of, to make it short, is that we have like the all-inclusive option, like with the PyPy. Then you actually also get the SIM card, so with global connectivity, and you have all options. And I would say a more developed software support. PyCom has their own cloud and such. So for the beginner, like if you haven't tinkered at all before, it will be less hurdles during the way if you use the PyCom device. Still, the HealthTech device, it's really good, but it is also a little bit of the budget option in some sense. And mainly, I would say, not that the hardware is bad in any way, but the software support is a little bit less, I would say, for the HealthTech device. But we still will use MicroPython. So these are the bundles. But if you want to buy more sensors, you have this sensor kit, don't you have that?
Yes.
Sensor kit.
I have it here.
If I'm going to search for it in your homepage, it's
it's a good question. I think you can search for sensor kit 25.
Sensor kit 25 modules. Yeah, here it is. This I would actually more or less recommend if you don't really know what you're going to do. So if you want to have all the options, this is a really good way. You can find these bundles in a lot of different places. You can buy them also at Amazon. You can go to Shell and Company, etc., etc. So they're quite common with these sensor kits because sensors are, I would say, quite cheap. but this is a really like good starting point. So just a couple of 100 crowns more, and you will like have all the options of doing whatever. You will get and this like more temperature sensors, vibration sensors, knocking sensors. Yeah, there's pulse sensor.
There's
Yeah,
a lot of this kit has been immensely popular actually through the years.
yeah,
And a lot of students buy this extra kit because you get so much, so many sensors, and in a nice little package.
yeah. And then also your homepage is quite. Actually, I could probably should change it to English.
Sure.
But but the thing is here that if you want to go in and dive into, I'm after something that can measure distance. You actually have a good categorization in your homepage of different kinds of sensors,
Yeah.
and more or less, this is something that if you want to know, I mean, does this sensor like okay, does this capacitive sensor work for the PICOM device? I would say more or less all sensors are compatible with all microcontrollers, but there might be that you need to have like a level shifter, or you might do some like maybe use a resistor or something like that. But those things, just ask. There are
Yeah.
so many people and TAs that will be able to answer, and also Jim, that okay, I want to use a sensor that measures the distance to whatever. What kind of sensor should I use? Or does it work with my PICOM or health tech device? Those specific questions, that's why we have a Discord server. So just throw them out there and you will get all the help in the world.
And it was a good pick because that one won't work.
Okay, you see.
I believe it's from 6 volts, yeah. And
Yeah,
you
exactly.
should be very careful before connecting that one to one of your pins.
Yeah. So that's correct. So that was a good choice. So then we already know that okay, that won't work. So but it might work, but you need some electronics in between. So
most do work, and
yeah,
one of the good things to look at if you are looking is I think both devices work on 3 volts, right?
yeah,
If I'm not, yeah. So if it says that it works on 5 volts, you need one of those level shifters, but it's really easy.
yeah.
If they say more than 5 volts, then it could be more complicated.
Yes. And we will publish everything in the course webpage. And at this very moment, not everything is updated just yet. I'm just saying because we are still in the final stages of creating the new planning document and such. But what you will find here in the bill of material is correct links. So at this moment, the links are actually pointing at what was last year, but that will be updated. Let's see. It opened it in a new window, so I'll do like this. What could be mentioned as well is that you might want to buy a battery holder. It's not necessary, but often you want to run your devices on battery. One way of doing that is to buy a LiPo battery with the right connector. The specifications are on the homepage. Also ask which battery. But there are also these battery holders, a small casing, which you can put in like just a couple of AAA batteries. They are very inexpensive. We're talking about 20 or 30 crowns or something like that. Those things that might be nice to add on top. But the thing is that all sensors, like a battery holder, an extra breadboard, all those things can be ordered later on. I think the most important part is that you get the 5Pi or the health tech device ordered as soon as possible, because that is probably what's going to take time. Otherwise, it is actually, yes, it's possible for most people just to walk down to Kjell and Company and like, oh, I want that kind of sensor. You will pay a little bit more than ordering it online, but you also you have that option as well. So,
and also we have super quick shipping.
yeah, I know. So it usually goes very quick. So should we mention anything? I mean, we have this recommended route now. So we have the FiPi and the PiCom world. And those of you that are like looking at this and like, okay, I'm new to IoT, that's why I'm doing this course. I think that's a very good option, like a very good start. So if you're like the very much beginner, you haven't tinkered around with IoT or electronics before, I would actually say that, well, go with the FiPi. It's a little bit more expensive, but you will like be limitless in connectivity options and also better software support. So some things will be a little bit smoother. Just one thing is that they have their own firmware updater as a program. So you download a separate program from PiCom, and then you can just open that and press flash firmware, and it sort of does its thing. If you work with a health tech device, well, you need to open the terminal. You need to be able to install a program with pip in Python and those things. Don't worry if you don't even know what I'm talking about. We will help out with all those things. But just to like say that, okay, there is one like a little bit easier option, and it's unfortunately a little bit more expensive, but you will get also a lot of more things included. So you will get like everything, all wireless connectivity options that's out there in the IoT sphere. Not literally all of them, but like all that all that are hot now, so to say. But other hardware, let's say that you have something already. Should you buy something then, or what do you say?
Well, I mean, I have a big box of microcontrollers at home, so maybe I'm a little on the get more side. But yeah, I guess one of the fun things that are new is the RP2040, the Raspberry Pi, microcontroller.
Yeah.
And they have released an RP2040 Connect that Arduino made. That takes advantage of this new microcontroller and makes it wireless as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's
you have this one as well in your shop. Yeah.
We do. It requires soldering. The one with pre-soldered headers hasn't arrived yet.
Yeah.
There has been a semiconductor shortage for a while now. And I can also mention that we were going to have the FiPi as an alternative, but due to the shortage, we can't, because we can't get hold of them. Basically.
You mean the low pi?
The low pi, sorry. Yeah, the low pi. So, and this is actually an interesting problem, and it has set its tracks in the business at the moment.
Yeah.
Basically, anything you want is out of stock right now.
So so this is this is the world we're living in now. But I can also say that the RP2040, the Nano RP2040 Connect, it's a nice board. I've been
really
also
nice.
testing it a little bit. So, but then just to mention is that then you have Wi-Fi and you have Bluetooth. You won't have LoRa, so you get more connectivity options out of the health tech device. But in terms of software support, this is also really nice, and documentation. Arduino does its job very well in that area. So, so
they also have an MKR series.
Yeah.
That's really cool. They focus on one connectivity per board, so you will have a different board per connectivity type. And LoRa, Wi-Fi, and so on. But they are really competent board. They are made with performance in mind and low power in mind.
Yeah. So the thing is here that if you have an Arduino board, in order to to pass the requirements of the course, you need to have something connected to the internet. That is it. Which means that if you have something that is using Wi-Fi, obviously, well, you'll get away with that. So it's not that you need anything else, but we will cover LoRaWAN in the course. We will cover also cellular connectivity and Wi-Fi, of course. But in order to take like full advantage of the material in the course and being able to try out different things, that's what this course is about, to learn and connect your sensor. And obviously the connectivity is so vital part of the IoT. So then the 5Pi is a really good option. And I would be happy to recommend Arduino devices as well. But as you said, Jim, they don't have like a single board which includes everything, which actually PiCom does. And that's sort of why. But the main takeaway is that, well, if you have something that is like already an IoT device, if you have any kind of development board, well, obviously use it. You don't need to buy anything more. We shouldn't like force anyone to buy it. The requirements are that you need to have it connected to the internet. But you should also think that, I mean, you're doing this course and take it as an opportunity to learn and explore. And the same thing also with the programming languages that we use. We mainly focus on MicroPython because it is a very good way to start if you haven't programmed before. I got questions that like I haven't any experience at all in this area, and this course is made for like you should be able to participate and learn in the course even though you haven't programmed before, because we covered the basics, so you will get up running right away, and that is why we chose MicroPython. But you're not limited to MicroPython. There is nothing in the course requirements that says that you need to program MicroPython. So if you want to go with something else, you're free to go with something else, but it will be like outside the lectures, so to say. But we had people last year programming in Rust, for instance. So yeah. Okay. I can't see that we have any questions, but maybe we should sort of round off this stream.
I want to show something cool.
Yeah, you want to show something cool. Okay. Yeah,
so
of course.
We got these ones. I don't know if it's the right one. These are actually Arduino Uno minis, and they won't take you through this course, but I want to show them because they're cool. To celebrate 10 million Arduino Uno boards, I believe, they made a limited run of 10,000 Uno minis. And they are super small and super cool. Just pull these ones.
And it's a golden box as well.
Yeah, golden box. And the inside is signed by the founders. And I was actually talking to one of our customers who is also in this course in the chat. A lot of years ago, a man walked into our store before I started working here, and he showed us this cool new board that made it easier to program microcontrollers. Yeah. And so we took him up on the offer and became the world's second Arduino reseller. So we have a special place in the Arduino sphere because it was developed partly in Malmö.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool, pretty fun.
Yeah. And I haven't myself visited Arduino office yet, but I hope I will be able to do some time.
You should.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's the area of IoT. It's really big. So there are so many interesting options, and we see that there are new devices like coming all the time.
Yep.
And also one of the really interesting things that are happening now, and we will talk a little bit more about that in the course as well, but putting machine learning on the edge. So not only collecting sensor data or controlling something, but also actually running a machine learning model. And well, Arduino has a couple of boards there which are really, really nice. So like the BLE 33 cents, etc. So there are a lot of very interesting stuff happening, and it's a fast pace to keep up with. So yeah, so it's fun, but you need to start somewhere.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So well, if there are any further questions, just let us know in the Discord server.
Yeah.
And,
great.
We'll take care of it.
Yeah. So everyone, have a nice weekend, and we'll see you soon. Oh, we got a question here.
Oh, we do.
Can you estimate when it will be possible to order with shipping to Romania?
Oh, that's a good question. Send me a DM, please. I can't answer that right now. I will find a way.
Yeah. So yeah, all those specific questions, bring it up in the Discord server, and Jim will be able to sort it out. I hope so. Yeah. But the thing is that it might be that if you're too far from Sweden, or if there is, then we can maybe help you find other options as well. I mean, I don't know.
Due to the COVID situation, well, the lingering COVID situation with the shipping times and things, we don't really send outside of Europe at the moment. So we used to, but not anymore. We'll start later, but within Europe, let me know. I'll take care of it.
Okay. But in that case, we'll end the broadcast now, and well, have a nice weekend, everyone. Thank you for joining in, Jim.
Bye. Thank you.